coast. We going coast to coast.
Are the Bucks sticking with a failed strategy? What changes need to be made ahead of tomorrow's Game 5? Plus, Baker Mayfield and OBJ need reps together, so where's Odell? We're live at the Browns. And is Conor McGregor getting ready to come back? An old nemesis may bring him out of retirement.
Sports Center, coast to coast. It's where you come when you want the most. Every city, every state and time. Get ready, we about to break it down.
The Blues will go to the Stanley Cup Final.
Let's kick it with the NBA. We still haven't had a break of serve in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 4 last night in Toronto. Kawhi.
I'm with you, David.
He's been dragging a bad leg around, Kerry. He seems like he's struggling a little bit. Played a lot of minutes in Game 3 in that overtime game. So let's see what he had here. He didn't have to do a lot of the heavy lifting, did he?
He did not. His supporting cast actually got better open looks because he was dragging a bit, right? So we saw everybody do something else.
We saw Kyle Lowry, Norman Powell. How about Serge Ibaka, your buddy, doing chin-ups there? Look at this. 60 of the 65 points scored by the Raptors, not scored by Kawhi. Game face. We need a separate camera dedicated to Nick Nurse. He's the king.
I need Nick Nurse face all throughout the game.
The king of the coach reaction. And then Marc Gasol finds Kawhi. Left hand.
Nice. Ooh,
putting Giannis
gingerly.
on a poster. Ooh, that didn't feel good, though.
Gingerly.
Oh, yeah, gingerly is right. Great jam, but he came down a little hard. This is how we do it. Gasol just sort of gives it the little head nod. You go that way. I'll find you. That's how we roll, we the North. And then a little bit later, Gasol again. Yeah, go that way. Gotcha.
Hey, how about not an obvious head roll, Gasol? I mean, it's working, but I think they're going to pick up on it. The scouting report says.
When Gasol moves his head, go that way. Giannis, we saw him put up an air ball. Is that an air ball, by the way? That's the second straight game hitting the bottom of the net. It's not good. He shot under 50% from the line the last couple games. The Raptors fans having fun at Giannis' expense, and then a turnover. A team worse, minus 19 in plus-minus. Not good. He's frustrated. They're seeing all sorts of double teams on him. And then another troublesome foul shot. And, well, this guy's liking it, huh?
Drake seems to enjoy it. He was also trolling him throughout the game.
Yeah, he's having fun, that's for sure. The Bucks were not. Fred VanVleet, he and his wife just had a baby the day before. Somehow that three goes off the window, rattles around the rim a few times.
Wow.
And drops.
Congrats on the newborn.
Now, should Drake be giving a neck rub to Nick Nurse? I don't know.
You know
is that
what?
right?
He's taking his stardom a little bit out of control. He's not the coach.
No. He's invading the coach's personal space. Lowry had 25. Leonard only had to play 34 minutes. He had 19. We are all tied up at 2 games apiece in the East. The best of 3 starts tomorrow.
Each game's its own entity, and let's see if those guys and all of those guys, we can go do it in Milwaukee.
You know, they're gonna be pissed and they're gonna come with energy. You know, trying to protect home court as well. We gotta take the first punch and you know, just be ourselves.
Feel good and keep going and keep fighting. We have a chance to make history.
It's disappointing, but I mean, the series is 2-2. It's not the end of the world. I mean, they protected home court just like we did. I know Game 5 is going to be a dogfight.
I just got to play with more energy, execute better. But, our feeling is the same. It doesn't change. They did their job. They protected home, and we got to do our job now.
Nick Nurse used Pascal Siakam on Giannis in games 1 and 2. Switched to the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year Kawhi in games 3 and 4. In those games, Giannis has attempted 52% of his shots with Leonard in his face, made just 4 of those 15 shots, 4 turnovers and 2 assists. The Greek Freak averaging just 16 points per 100 possessions when defended by Kawhi. That's his second worst mark against any defender all season. We'll see what Game 5 brings. Kerry?
All right. Well, joining us now is Stephen A. Smith. So, Stephen A., you were pretty adamant going into the game that the Bucks were the better team, even going as far as saying they possibly could beat the Warriors in the finals. But obviously, I watched you this morning on First Take. Talk to me about the change of heart as we get to see the Bucks are just as vulnerable.
I don't like what I'm seeing. I mean, the fact of the matter is that I expected more from them. I thought this series was over after one game. They were awful weak. They were rusty. They had shot like 25% from three-point range. Kawhi had 31. Kyle Lowry had 30, and they still lost. And so when I looked at it from that perspective, I'm like, that's your best chance. Obviously, Milwaukee blows them out again in game 2. They look longer. They were hitting perimeter shots. They were spreading the floor nicely. They were hitting those perimeter shots and moving the basketball. Then game 3 arrived. Nick Nurse made the adjustments of putting Kawhi Leonard on the Greek Freak, slowing him down from that area between half court and the three-point line before he was able to get momentum going downhill. As a result, that turned the Greek Freak into somewhat of a perimeter player. He was neutralized offensively, only had 12 points. There was nowhere to go from there. So then what happens? You come to game 4. He's aggressive at the start of the game. But here's what happened. Toronto suddenly noticed something. When we put Mirotic, when we put Brook Lopez, when we put Ilyasova in switching situations, and we forced them to guard somebody off the dribble, they have trouble doing so. So that makes us potent more offensively. And as we elevate our potency offensively, it puts more pressure on them when they have the ball offensively. And suddenly guys that were normally making shots, they can't make shots anymore. Middleton had 30, and they were still a minus 17 with him on the floor. Greek Freak had 25. They were still a minus 19 with him on the floor. That means there was nobody there to stop the bleeding because your bench was busy getting outscored 48-23. These are not things that I saw happen to Milwaukee all year long. But suddenly, in the Eastern Conference Finals, on the road, you forgot how to play basketball the way that you've been playing, not just the entire regular season, but through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. So now palms are getting sweaty, backsides are getting tight, things don't seem the same for the Milwaukee Bucks, which is why I'm sitting here going like this. Well, damn it, I might be wrong. It's just that simple.
Okay, so look, you talk about the Bucks bench. What about the Bucks doubling Kawhi? As a result, the Raptors bench, the supporting cast came through big time. And it was evident that Kawhi was not 100%. So why do you think Milwaukee stuck with that strategy?
Because it was working. Because it was working. The fact is that they were daring somebody else to beat them. Kawhi Leonard spent the first 3 games doing this thing. Now, he got hurt at the beginning of game 3. He came down. It looked like something gave with his knee. And as a result, he's been hobbling ever since. He still can make some big-time shots, and we recognize that. But he's clearly not the same player, not by a long shot. But other guys have stepped up. Kyle Lowry stepped up big time last night with his 25 points. Marc Gasol has become more of a threat offensively because he hit 4 threes in game 3. He hit 3 threes last night. That's 7 threes over the last 2 games. That forces you to come out and defend him. Norman Powell has come off the bench. He only hit 4 3-pointers out of 13, but he launched 13 3-point shots. He's out there being aggressive. And when you look at him and Van Vliet and Siakam and Ibaka coming off the bench, who has more mobility than a Marc Gasol, so he can go from trying to defend the interior to racing out on perimeter shooters and trying to defend against them. You're getting production from other people who are doing nothing but their jobs. They know who Kawhi Leonard is, but everybody else has just been doing what they're supposed to do. They're playing within themselves. They're being very disciplined, and Milwaukee along the way has lost their way. And that's why we have a series right now.
All right, Game 5 back in Milwaukee tomorrow. The Raptors obviously trying to get a road win. Stephen A., are you still sticking with Milwaukee before I let you go?
Yes, I'm still sticking with them, but I think it's going to go 7 games. Everybody protects their home turf.
All right, we got a 7-game series, according to Stephen A. Smith. Thank you so much for joining us here.